You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now it's 7. A new school year is upon us. We've got some tips on how you can help your kids handle their mental health.
Also, Joplin officials gather for the dedication of a juvenile justice center.
And we have an alert day today for dangerous heat across the area. Heat alerts out there. Heat index values for many of us pushing close to 108 degrees. Well, look at that forecast. Get you out the door. Coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner just after 7 a.m. on this Wednesday morning. It's August the 14th.
Here we are.
I mean, yeah, it's all you need to know.
You sounded so excited. I feel like I let you down.
I was jazzed that it was Wednesday, and then you came in all sad about it. So now I'm sad it's Wednesday.
I'll be happier on Friday.
Oh, that's a good point. And Friday's always a good day to be pretty thrilled about. So, except for some kids, starting school next week, Friday, that reminder, it's their last weekend before they get back to class.
That is never fun. Yes, because believe it or not, back to school season is picking up steam.
But as students prepare for an academic year that's hopefully filled with learning and excitement, psychology experts say if your child is the target of bullying, it can dramatically affect their mental and physical well-being.
Fox News' Kevin Cork takes a closer look at how you can help prevent harm.
Are you guys excited about going back to school?
Yes.
No. While the opinions are mixed, one thing is certain. Back to school season is ramping up.
Pencils, markers, crayons.
But while folks are busy checking off items on their child's supply list, educators say parents should also be checking on their kids' mental health, especially focusing on the impacts of bullying and how to prevent it.
It can be relational, it can be verbal, it can be physical, and verbal is the most common type. But over the last 15 years, we've also seen electronic or cyberbullying emerge.
Robin Kowalski, psychology professor at Clemson University, says bullying typically starts early on.
The highest prevalence rates of bullying victimization are actually in elementary school.
She also says some common characteristics of a bully include
they feel it's okay to use force to get what they want. They often feel like the rules don't apply to them.
While parents should be looking out for warning signs that their child is a victim, including marks on their body or them withdrawing from school activities and their phone, Kowalski cites a new phenomenon called psychological mattering as a means of making students feel less alone and like they have to pick on others to feel important.
Students need to be made to feel like they matter, that they are important or significant to other people.
Meanwhile, the CDC says bullying can increase a person's risk of depression and anxiety, and it can even lower a student's academic performance. I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.
Oh, hey, seriously though, kids, be nice to one another. I mean, It's really not that hard, and it's not right.
It's not right.
It's not. Like, no. Don't be that way. You know what? If you don't like somebody, the easiest thing you can do is just leave them alone. And then you don't have to deal with them. You don't need to be rude. You don't need to be mean. You don't need to be hateful to somebody else because you don't know their situation.
And if someone's mistreating you, it's always okay to get extra help.
Yes, absolutely. Seek that extra help. Go to the principal or whoever and just let them know because we don't want any of these situations escalating.
No, absolutely not.
Unfortunately for us here locally, our temperatures are escalating. Mother Nature not being too kind to us with some dangerous heat rolling in today. As mentioned, we have an alert day today for that heat. We've got heat advisories for virtually the entire area through this evening, and that is for heat index values of 105 to 108 degrees. And then Nevada and Washington counties in northeast Oklahoma, those are excessive heat warnings. And so down there, heat index values could easily reach 112 degrees. Now, also keep in mind, though, Mother Nature doesn't work on a county basis. So you may be on the edges of this excessive heat warning and still have some higher heat index values out there. We just put these out for the counties as best we can, but that doesn't necessarily mean that just because Craig County's not in it, and Nowata County is, that you couldn't see some higher heat index values on the fringes out there. On the future track today, not much to show other than these fast-moving wind arrows, and that is because we'll have southerly winds kicking up to about 20 miles an hour at times, and it is otherwise going to be hot across the region with maybe a passing cloud or two. It won't be until overnight tonight that we start to see some rain chances, and we could see some strong storms overnight tonight. We could see some strong, severe thunderstorms Thursday evening as well, and we'll go over those details in just a moment. But again, we want to get you out the door with some information that you need right now. This is what you need right now. 74 in Joplin, 72 in Pittsburgh. We had showers and storms. We had a few isolated ones in our area overnight. We are dry. The thunderstorms now well to our east, but did leave us a little cooler in the northeastern portion of our area, so low to mid 70s. But then further southwest, as you get further away from the clouds, further away from where that rain occurred, it is already warming up, mid upper 70s out there. We're looking at sunny skies through today. Our highs upper 90s, pushing close to 100. Remember, the majority of us looking at heat index values 105 to 108 degrees. As I discussed, there are thunderstorm chances on the way. Some strong storms also possible. We'll go over all those details with you in the full forecast, and that's coming up here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. The Missouri Supreme Court sets an execution date for a man convicted of raping and murdering a 9-year-old girl in southwest Missouri. In 2012, a jury convicted Christopher Collings of the 2007 abduction, rape, and murder of Rowan Ford of Stella, Missouri. Investigators say Collings threw Ford's body into a sinkhole in McDonald County. The Supreme Court set his execution for December 3rd. Well, firefighters respond to a call in Jasper County yesterday. The call came in around 9:30 a.m. at Prosperity and Elm Road. At the same time, heavy rain and lightning was moving through the region. While no one was injured, the Red Cross has been contacted to assist those displaced by the fire. The Nevada, Missouri Fire Department announces a brand new fire chief. Captain Taylor McClintock has been promoted to the top spot. McClintock has worked for Nevada for 15 years. The department announced the promotion yesterday on its Facebook page. And it's a change at the top for the Columbus Police Department. According to the Columbus Police Department's Facebook page, Preston Hosier is being promoted to police sergeant, and Arlo Luke will become the new school resource officer. Hosier has recently taken the lead in the department's field training officer program and played a key role in implementing the department-wide Taser modernization initiative. Luke brings 5 years of diverse experience to his new role, including animal control officer, police officer, and code enforcement official. Well, community members gathered in Joplin for the dedication of the Senator Ron Richard Juvenile Justice Center. The facility opened in 2019 and provides short-term detention for young people waiting for a detention hearing, placement with youth services, or release to legal guardians. The building consolidates all of Jasper County's juvenile services, including detention, alternative education, courts, and administration. The Juvenile Justice Center is now named in honor of former Joplin Mayor and Missouri Senator Ron Richard, who died in June 2023.
I can't think of anybody else who would be better to have somebody name a building after than Senator Richard. He absolutely deserves this honor, and it's a big privilege for me to be part of this service here today.
Jasper County officials say the facility was designed with the ultimate goal of diverting young people out of detention. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, it's Wildcat Wednesday, and Will Morris will be with us to share what we can expect for this year's Kansas State Fair. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Frontenac High School on their first day of school. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We have Will Morris from the Kansas State Research and Extension Office. He's with us this morning to share some exciting things going on with the Kansas State Fair next month. So welcome to you, Will. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. So talk to me a little bit about the Kansas State Fair and just kind of what kids can look forward to when they attend and participate.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So as many know, county fair season is coming to an end or just about. And so for those that attended, they would have seen 4-H members, no matter what county it was, that were there showcasing and exhibiting the many different projects that we have and offer for youth, and opening themselves up to some constructive feedback and criticism about how well they did with those projects this year. So for those that were fortunate enough to receive a purple ribbon, which would be kind of our top tier honor, they are now eligible to go on to the Kansas State Fair, which takes place September 6th through the 15th, where they will have the opportunity to then participate and compete against those across the entire state of Kansas. So there are 105 counties in the state of Kansas, so they'll go up against kids from across all 105 of those counties.
How exciting. And I'm sure, I mean, it's an honor to get that purple ribbon for anyone who's familiar with 4-H and going to represent your county and your project at the state fair. Talk to me a little bit about the process from getting that purple ribbon at your county fair to then preparing for the state fair.
Yeah, so in most of our project areas at the county fair, they go through what's called consultative judging, where they sit, kind of across from one another like you and I are here, and a judge provides them feedback on how well they did compared to the standards and rules that are in place for those different project areas. So after they receive that feedback, then they will go home after county fair is done. They may make some modifications or changes, or if they need to, and then they prep that project to then go on to the next level here in a month.
Absolutely. Super exciting. And just from your experience and observation, how do you see this develop youth and just, give them confidence and really hone in on their skills and create paths towards the future?
Yeah, so one thing I always hear about working with, other businesses or professionals within the community and things is that they can always tell a 4-H member because of their ability to communicate, to express what they've done or describe things, and their ability to conversate with somebody that may be the same age, older, kind of no matter what. So really those public speaking skills, those soft skills that they help to develop within the process of showcasing those different projects that a lot of times they don't even realize that they're working on. And so they can always kind of tell one of those 4-H members that help boost those skills and help them for the future.
Absolutely. Well, it's such an exciting time for those 4-Hers. Thank you so much for being with us this morning, Will. We'll, of course, have more information later on today on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News 717 on this Wednesday morning. We're starting with a quick look from our camera at 7th and Rangeline. Take a look at the sun rays that we're getting with those clouds from the storms that are still well off to our east. That cloud cover beginning to clear out, letting a little more daylight in here. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline in Joplin looking pretty good as well. Roads starting to get a little busier. So folks get their midweek day underway. My goodness. You know what I mean, though. KDOT camera 69 Kansas Crossing also looking pretty good this morning as well. Now, as we go overnight tonight, we do have a chance for some strong to low-grade severe thunderstorms. So even though this is day one, which is today, day one continues into the overnight hours as well. So this is going to be after 2-3 o'clock in the morning. We have a risk for maybe some large hail and perhaps some damaging winds out there. Again, after about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. For today, not expecting anything in terms of precipitation. We'll have a south wind gusting upwards of 20 miles an hour. We also have the alert day today for the dangerous heat across the area. And again, it won't be until late tonight, early tomorrow morning, that we start to see some isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. And this is where our initial round of the strong to low grade severe thunderstorms will be. Now, this disturbance could leave behind a little energy, and we could have some isolated to widely scattered storms as we head into the afternoon hours on Thursday. It won't be until the evening, though, that we're going to see another round of thunderstorms, and these could be strong to severe. So about 4 or 5 o'clock, you can see we've got this complex that just kind of blows up out there, and by 7, it's right along the I-44 corridor from Oklahoma into southeast Kansas, and into the Missouri side of things. And again, this is another opportunity for strong to severe storms with wind and hail, again, being the primary concern. Maybe a few lingering storms late Thursday. Then we go into our Friday, and another similar situation, except a little drier in between the rain events. So Friday, we're going to clear out. It's going to be another hot and muggy day across the area. And then by Friday evening, initially, again, isolated showers and thunderstorms out there. So not all of us getting rain, but we are looking at the possibility by late Friday into early Saturday of a new thunderstorm complex developing out there as well. Now, at this point, this is all going to be contingent on whether all the ingredients come together correctly. So we're not expecting severe weather at this point, but with something that we'll keep an eye on. So our severe threat going beyond today, there's that low risk for overnight tonight. We have a low to elevated risk across the region for us tomorrow evening into the overnight hours. And then we've got the pop-up storm chances for us on our Friday. We also have the heat advisories, and that's why we have the alert day today. Within these heat advisories today, you could see heat index values 105 to 108 degrees. And in the excessive heat warnings for Nowata and Washington County, you could see heat index values to 112. So you know the drill. Stay hydrated, stay inside if you can, find shade, take frequent breaks. And for schools that are back in session, might want to consider having the kids stay inside. I know they're going to look out the window, see a sunny day, and not know why they can't go out, but it's better to be safe than sorry. 74 in Joplin, south breeze at 7. Dew point is up in that soupy range, sitting at 70. Thanks to the clouds and overnight rain, some of us a little cooler this morning, low to mid 70s. As you get further southwest, we start to go into the mid to upper 70s out there. Sunny skies through the morning, already hot by 11 o'clock, pushing close to 90 degrees. And again, our highs today, upper 90s, close to 100, and that's going to be the case over the next several days. There's those rain chances Thursday and Friday, still mid-upper 90s. The rain doesn't do anything for our temperatures. Unlike yesterday, it helped keep some of us cool. That will not be the case over the next couple of days. Pop-up storms possible for us on our Sunday, and still upper 90s. Our coolest day really is Monday at 94. We go back into the upper 90s near 100 and staying dry toward the end of next week. That's checking your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Welcome back. The 203rd Hound Dog Reunion is taking place this weekend as the 203rd Engineering Battalion celebrates the 20th anniversary of their return home from Iraq. J.D. Whitledge and Jim Dunn are with us this morning, inviting members to a reunion happening this Saturday. Welcome to you both. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. So talk to me a little bit about this reunion that you all are having.
Well, as you're aware, the battalion returned from Iraq 20 years ago.
Yes.
One of those rare occasions where the entire battalion was deployed. They wanted every one of them. About 800 soldiers, all from southwest Missouri, deployed over there. Did a great job. They actually got extended while there, and came back, and were just an opportunity for all of the old dogs like us to meet with the new soldiers that are there. It's open to all members, past and present, of the 203rd Engineers.
Wow, fantastic. So talk to me a little bit about the Operation Iraqi Freedom that they took place in, and just kind of reflecting back 20 years later, you know, just the impact that it had on our country, but also the men in southwest Missouri that participated in that.
Well, there was some stress, of course, you know, the missions that they had,
Yes.
and the risk, of course, of all of that. I think pretty much everybody has overcome that, and this is a great opportunity
Yes.
for everyone to get back together and swap lies and war stories. So it'll be a fun time.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And is it open? I mean, it's open to those in the battalion. Is it also open to family as well?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. The wives, of course, and the children are invited. We're going to have a golf tournament for the guys on Friday, but we have a list of things that the families can do as well on Friday, and we'll be promoting that for the community, because there's a lot of things that
Yes.
they can go out and do while the guys are busy.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then this is Saturday. Where will and when will it be held?
The golf tournament will be at Eagle Creek,
Okay.
which is part of the downstream operation.
Yes.
And The banquet will be in the downstream event center. Those folks have worked very closely with us to make this something to remember.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you both for being with us this morning, and thank you for your service as well. It's a great thing that's going on this weekend and lots to remember and celebrate as well. If you'd like more information, you can refer to the number at the bottom of your screen. Stick around. We're back with more right after this.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:29. I'm Elise Snowy. Officials in Crawford County, Kansas finished processing the provisional ballots from the August 6th election. Part of the process is to ensure all the tapes from the election machines are signed and correct. The provisional ballots are then tallied, and 41 more ballots were added to the grand total, while 15 were rejected. Officials say the process goes according to rules laid out by the Secretary of State.
It's required by statute that we do that. The Secretary of State has a list of rules that we have to follow, and this is to make sure that all advance ballots were accepted through Friday.
If you're interested in finding out more about the process, including watching the videos of the meeting, you can check out the link on our website, KOAMNewsNow.com. The Missouri Secretary of State validated proposed constitutional amendments to appear on the state's November ballot. They were added after an initiative petition acquired enough signatures. One of those proposals would allow people to place bets on professional sports teams. Casino operators would also be able to obtain a license. Missouri's professional sports teams have supported the proposal. The proposed amendment would establish a 10% wagering tax that would go towards educational organizations. If it's approved, it would become effective no later than December 1st of next year. A total of 38 states and the District of Columbia allow some form of sports betting. Those include Missouri's neighboring states of Kansas and Arkansas. Another proposed amendment added to the Missouri ballot concerns abortion. Missourians will vote on a constitutional amendment that would reverse the current near total abortion ban back to the rules established by Roe v. Wade. The Secretary of State's office declared that a petition received enough signatures to be included in the election. If the amendment receives a majority vote, it would allow abortion until fetal viability, which is around 24 weeks, when a fetus could survive outside the uterus. If passed, Missouri would become the first state to reverse their abortion ban. Currently, abortions are only allowed in the case of a medical emergency. Missouri is one of at least 6 states that will vote on abortion this November. Well, another issue on the Missouri ballot is Proposition A. If passed, it would increase Missouri's minimum wage to $13.75 an hour in 2025 and to $15 per hour in 2026. It would also require all employers to provide 1 hour of paid sick leave for every 30 hours work. And if you plan to vote in November, now is the time to register. Take a look. These are the deadlines to register for November 5th. Missouri has the first cutoff for registration in our area. That's October 9th. In Oklahoma, you have until October 11th. And in Kansas, it's October 15th. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available, of course, free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, International Friends of Pittsburgh welcomed incoming international students with a dinner at the Presbyterian Church in Pittsburgh yesterday evening. The event gives attending students and faculty a chance to explore different cultures, all while enjoying a dinner for no charge.
We just came here to the church and we're having some food and just enjoying. I feel like this is the first connection to the actual community and American people the most, other than the people that work at the office.
The food was served potluck style by Friendship Families of Pittsburgh. Now let's check in with Chris for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we do have an alert day today for dangerous heat across the area. So far this morning, we're doing all right. Some of us, though, already warm. Got a few clouds out there, but skies continuing to clear as the sun rises. That's our camera 7th in range line, MoDOT camera 20th in range line. Some of the cloud cover off to our east, still leading to a little bit of a darker start for some of us this morning. And here's the reason for that alert day, the dangerous heat. Heat advisories across the entire area. Within the heat advisories, heat index values today anywhere from 105 to 108 degrees. And we have excessive heat warnings for Nowata and Washington counties into northeastern Oklahoma, and that's where heat index values could reach 112 degrees. So make sure you're taking precautions, staying hydrated, staying inside if you can. And for schools back in session, just keep this in mind when it comes to recess time. Might want to consider some alternatives just to help keep the kids safe. Future track, nothing to show out there other than the hot temperatures and some gusty south winds that'll be pushing about 20 miles an hour and maybe a stray cloud or two. We'll have thunderstorm chances though increasing a bit once we get into the overnight hours, say after about 2 a.m. We're going to go over those thunderstorm chances in the full forecast a little later. Right now, though, 74 in Joplin, 72 in Pittsburgh. Otherwise, mostly sunny skies as we start the day. Thanks to the cloud cover and some overnight showers. Some of us still a little cooler, some low mid-70s. But as you head further off to the west and to the south, we start to see temperatures already climbing into the mid to upper 70s. And that is ahead of highs today going into the upper 90s across the area with sunny skies. And again, those heat index values for most of us pushing close to 108 degrees. Again, we have some thunderstorm chances on the way. Some of those could be strong, possibly severe. We'll break down those details for you in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. One Kentucky man is using a classic kids toy to teach kids about the world. We'll be right back, but before we head to break, here's a live look from Frontenac High School as students head back to school. In Consumer Watch this morning, General Motors is facing a lawsuit for allegedly collecting private data without user consent. Texas's Attorney General says the state is suing the car maker for allegedly installing the data collecting technology in more than 14 million vehicles starting in 2015. The lawsuit claims drivers were unaware that their vehicles were collecting their data. The Attorney General says the data helped create driving scores, which could be used by insurers to raise their rates and premiums. Well, 2 U.S. senators are accusing Kroger of using digital price tags to take advantage of consumers. Senators Elizabeth Warren and Bob Casey say they are investigating the grocery store chain over its use of electronic shelving labels to up grocery prices and, quote, exploit consumers. The senators say the technology could allow companies to adjust prices of goods based on certain factors. A letter has been sent to the CEO of Kroger, Rodney McMullen, asking for details on how the grocery chain uses and collects consumer data. Multiple automakers have issued do not drive warnings for vehicles with defective airbags. Ford and Mazda report more than 457,000 vehicles have potentially dangerous Takata airbags. The recall includes various Mazda models made between 2003 to 2015, as well as Ford Mustangs, Rangers, GTs, and Fusions. The warning also impacts Mercury Milan's, Lincoln MKZs, and Zephyrus made between 2006 and 2012. Both companies say free repairs are now available at local dealerships. A recent Pew Research Center study found 72% of high school and 33% of middle school teachers believe cell phone distractions are a major problem. But combating usage in schools can be difficult, with some students often able to hide their phones. But with the new school year ramping up, several states are trying to better manage smartphone devices and create more conducive environments for learning.
Back to school season is kicking into gear, and efforts are growing across multiple states to help students focus by tackling cell phone use in classrooms.
I had very difficult interactions with students who answered phones in the middle of class, who didn't want to put them away.
While California Governor Gavin Newsom signed a law back in 2019 allowing districts to regulate phones during academic hours, on Tuesday he took it a step further, sending letters to schools statewide urging them to restrict usage of the devices on campus.
I think legislation banning the use of cell phones during the school day is fair. I think there's very clear evidence that cell phones don't have a great positive effect on our mental health.
Meanwhile, in South Carolina, the State Board of Education is crafting a proposal for its districts to ban phones during class time. A final vote is expected next month.
We still allow a cell phone to be on campus. It just has to be turned off and put away. The reason we're not banning a cell phone is because we know that many students need to communicate with their families after school hours for rides.
But while phones can be on their way out, another form of technology could be infiltrating more districts. Some experts say artificial intelligence can help students increase learning, especially kids with reading difficulties or those who need help taking notes.
If you have a hidden disability and you don't want to be open about the fact that you're suffering from dyslexia or something else, you can use an AI reading assistant to actually help you read. So you can actually record a lecture and use the AI to automatically transcribe what's going on with it too.
Sean Langell, Fox News.
And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:44 now on this Wednesday morning. We're starting the live look from the MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline in Joplin. Traffic moving right along as folks get their day underway. And we'll take a trip over to Kansas to the KDOT camera, 69 Kansas Crossing. Getting ample sunshine out there as, again, clouds from storms well to our east continue to clear on out. And we do have an alert day today for dangerous heat, but we also are tracking thunderstorm chances. So, again, this is day one, which is today, but it also extends into the overnight hours. So we're not expecting storms today. They'll be late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Now, again, I don't make the rules. That's just how this works. And this is really for the overnight hours where we could see a risk for maybe some small hail, perhaps some gusty winds with some strong to maybe low-grade severe thunderstorms tonight. And then we have another round of thunderstorms tomorrow that could be strong to severe as well. So future track will kind of show what we're talking about. Today, really nothing out there. We'll have winds out of the south gusting upwards of 20, maybe a cloud or two, more so the dangerous heat, and that's why we have that alert day in effect today. And then we've got thunderstorms after 2 a.m. It'll be isolated initially. There's a few scattered storms as the early morning hours progress. This is where that window for maybe a strong to low-grade severe thunderstorm will be. Now, this disturbance could leave behind just enough energy that we could deal with a few isolated to widely scattered showers and storms as we head through the morning and into the afternoon. Unfortunately, due to the nature of these storms and just the system that we have, it's not going to have any impact, or at least no significant impact on our temperatures. It won't be like yesterday where the rain helped keep some of us a little cooler. That will not be the case on Thursday. By Thursday evening, another round of storms is expected to begin to develop across southeastern Kansas, and these could become strong to severe rather quickly across the area, with large hail and damaging wind being the primary threat. And these will continue to push southeast across the region overnight, leaving maybe a few lingering storms late Thursday. Then we go into our Friday. It's going to be hot, muggy, uncomfortable once again. Clear skies, sun overhead, and another, again, hot day. And then by Friday evening, we could see another round of isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. Again, these will be relatively scattered, but nonetheless, at least some of us could see rain. And then there's the possibility, we're keeping an eye on this, if the ingredients come together right, we could see a larger thunderstorm complex develop across the southwestern portion of our area. We're not expecting severe weather at this point, but there's still a lot of variables as to whether or not this scenario will play out. But if it does, we'll keep an eye on it for maybe a couple of stronger storms late Friday into Saturday. So there's that low risk overnight tonight across the area. And then tomorrow evening into the late night hours, we have a low to elevated risk across a good portion of the area as well for those strong to severe storms, with, again, large hail, damaging winds being the primary concern. Here's our alert day reason for today. Heat advisories across the entire region. Within the heat advisories, could see those heat index values 105 to 108 degrees. And then we have excessive heat warnings in Nevada and Washington counties and Oklahoma. Those heat index values could reach 112. So make sure you're taking the appropriate precautions over the next several days, honestly. 74 in Joplin, south breeze at 7. Dew point is at 70, so already fairly muggy out there. Low mid 70s to the northeast and further south and west, mid upper 70s. Veneta now sitting at 78 degrees this morning. Sunny skies through the morning, not bad like we are right now. It's warm, but not terrible. Then it'll be hot by 11 o'clock. Temperatures getting close to 90 degrees. Our highs today going into the upper 90s near 100. And aside from Monday, we've got mid upper 90s for the next several days. Rain chances tomorrow, Friday, and Sunday, pushing close to 100 by next Friday. That's checking your forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. Who says he can't turn playing into a career? I know we certainly have. And one Kentucky man has spent most of his life playing with Legos.
Mariah Conjito reports he's making money and teaching through that hobby.
I have a large collection of Legos, and so we decided that we would put those to use.
For more than 40 years, Dwayne Keaton has rounded up quite the Lego collection.
Actual loose bricks that I have in the basement, it's probably over 100,000.
That doesn't include the Lego sets. From the Coliseum to the Millennium Falcon to Lego mosaics, from a young age, Keaton has devoted countless hours building and creating.
I don't see Legos as a toy. I see it more as like clay or pencils or paints. I see it as a medium to create things.
As a former teacher with a collection so vast, Keaton and his wife came up with a business plan and founded the Brickmobile.
And I teach engineering, architecture, science, math, art, all through Lego bricks.
Keaton says for every visit, he brings 50,000 Lego bricks with him. In a school setting, for example, Keaton will make his lessons unique to the curriculum while featuring things like the tower tumbler and Newton's cart.
I teach architecture and engineering concepts and why some towers can be so tall and how in the world are we able to make skyscrapers that are just thousands of feet tall.
Keaton says the Brick Learning Center has already created so many good experiences and memories.
They just start smiling immediately when they get to start building them. And it's so much fun to be able to share it with them.
Keaton says they can do birthday parties, school and library visits, you name it.
We're also thinking hospitals, nursing homes, assisted living facilities, wherein I could use the Lego bricks for occupational therapy.
It's certainly unique. I mean, I played with plenty of Legos when I was a kid. I built some sets, but like him, I usually used them to create my own creations. So.
See, I was more of a Barbie and Polly Pocket girl, and I feel like the Barbie movie last year kind of, you know, taught us about our world, or kids about their world nowadays too.
That's true.
Cool.
That's true.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of boys at home. They enjoy Legos
Yes.
as well. Certainly a lot of fun to play with. And it's a great indoor thing to do because it's going to be a little too hot to go outside. First, though, we could again see some strong low-grade severe thunderstorms overnight tonight after about 2 a.m. Maybe some small hail and gusty winds out there. For today, we have the alert day for the dangerous heat, but I want to at least show you some of those thunderstorm chances that we're going to experience again late tonight into early tomorrow morning. Again, could see a strong storm or two with this activity, maybe a few lingering isolated storms throughout the day Thursday, and then we'll get another round Thursday evening into the late night hours of thunderstorms, and these could be strong to severe as well. And we do have a low to elevated severe threat for Thursday evening into the late night hours. And a quick reminder, heat advisories out there, heat index values 105 to 108 with highs in the upper 90s. We'll have one more look at your forecast and the news you need to know right after this.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. The Missouri Supreme Court sets an execution date for Christopher Collins, who was convicted of raping and murdering 9-year-old Rowan Ford of Stella, Missouri. Investigators say Collins threw Ford's body into a sinkhole in McDonald County. The Supreme Court set his execution for December 3rd. The Nevada, Missouri Fire Department announces a brand new fire chief. Captain Taylor McClintock has been promoted to the top spot. McClintock has worked for Nevada for 15 years, and the department announced the promotion on its Facebook page. And if you plan to vote in November, now is the time to register. Take a look. These are the deadlines to register for November 5th. Missouri has the first cutoff for registration in our area. That's October 9th. In Oklahoma, you have until October 11th, and in Kansas, it's October 15th.
All right, alert day today. Dangerous heat, highs into the upper 90s. Heat index values up to 108 for many of us out there, so make sure you're taking precautions. Clear skies for the evening, still warm. 82 by 10 o'clock. Overnight lows upper 70s. After 2 a.m., thunderstorm chances, and some of those could be strong, low-grade severe. We'll have isolated storms during the day on Thursday, and then more thunderstorms Thursday evening into the late night hours. Some of those could be strong to severe as well, with large hail, damaging winds the primary threat. A few pop-up storms Friday and Sunday, and we stay hot for the next several days as well, so be prepared.
Absolutely. Well, astronauts on board the International Space Station had a spectacular view of the recent aurora. NASA astronaut Matthew Dominic shared a stunning time-lapse video showing the moon setting against a backdrop of vibrant red and green auroras.
The time-lapse was followed by a serene sunrise that bathed the spacecraft with a blue light. Dominic has been aboard the International Space Station since his mission began on March the 3rd. Certainly an absolutely incredible view of that from up there.
Unbelievable.
They look great from down here, even more incredible up from space.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you all so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.